Testing 1, 2. Test your mic.
Testing.
Test.
Okay, she come out. Yeah, you want me to go?
Good evening and welcome to the Poets Cafe, the art of conversation. It is where artists comes alive. The spoken word brings forth the inner creation of hidden treasures, expressing tones of lyrics felt within the soul, the vibration that brings stories untold. This platform represents artists of all backgrounds through various forms of expressions, including writers, singers, spoken word, and artistic expressions in painting, literature, poetry, and a journey through life. Mystery seeks to bring new ideas and opportunities to the mind at all levels. Wherefore my time leaving tomorrow on the wings of yesterday, where birds fly higher than the mystery of dreams never knew. Why do mellow sounds ring silently without ever leaving memories of my lonely blues? We walk by the calls of nature, sing in harmony, pray for the love of the skies, dance with the stars like a feminine ballerina, gazing across the stage in her soft-toed ballerina shoes. Welcome to the Artists of Poetry Cafe show, Poetically Speaking, hosted by Terry Benjamin and Ron C. McCray. As delighted as we are, we can't wait to embark on a new wave of presenting this platform to our audience. So, sit back and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Now, let's get started.
Let's get started. This is Poetically Speaking with yours truly, Terry Benjamin and Ronald C. McCray. Again, we have a super show for you today. We're going to help you change your life in a very profound way. Today's agenda is Fitness for Life with Evan Beyond Fitness. The quote from the day is from Muhammad Ali, the greatest. And he says, "I hated every minute of training. But I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." That's Muhammad Ali. Our engineer for this evening is Trish. And as always, it's good to have a poet in resident in the house. If I need that poetic boost here, I have a brother right here. So we begin, as always, with Ron's poetry. What you got for us today, Ron?
I always have something.
Yeah, I know you do.
Even if I create something.
On the spot, right?
Let me start here.
Beautiful.
Change the way you think. No matter how you look at it, change the way you think. That in itself will unearth every aspect of this program this evening. And if you don't change the way you think based on our program this evening, and then you sleep, and we're here to knock on your door. Wake up.
Wake up. Wake up.
What did
Wake up, everybody.
There you go. No more sleeping
in bed.
So let me read this. This one is titled, The Perspective. From a person's point of view in a conversation, it becomes clear that thoughts truly share information about life at their core. Thereby deepening one's understanding of issues that may influence or offer guidance and meaningful insight on any topic. Key thoughts inspire others to address concerns respectfully, creating an environment where everyone benefits from exploring different perspectives on unknown questions. This in turn helps people see things from new angles and encourage daily encouragement with high-quality information. Around the table, we discuss the shared interests and daily activities that lead to special moments, filled with laughter and tears, where curiosity results in positive outcomes through simplicity. Overall, by approaching life with mature insight, we can move towards a better, more harmonious way of living. The perspective is a platform for observing sights across the landscape of time, where busy life exists within the means of communicating about everyday life. Moving from one perspective to another, one can enjoy all that has been allowed to engage with meaningful. From the perspective of a mature conversation, one can uncover hidden thoughts that creates beauty for the benefit of finding solace among like-minded thinkers. Thinker seeks a renewed interest that broadens people's perspective to a three-dimensional view, highlighting an inward thoughts about how to surface along the railway in time without losing sight of the purpose for the audience. From an integrated perspective, its validity relies solely on opinion without factual support, leaving no room for any foundation to be discussed. So, how does one stay connected without breaking the chain that links many parts to one? Common language. What's your bird's eye view on life?
Yeah, I like this. Very, very thoughtful and again, very timely. And what was the name of that poem again?
The perspective. From your perspective, my perspective,
That's right.
from the perspective.
That's right.
You know, how do you view? And I changed that because one of the things I get irritated about, because so many really want to jump in and shackle you with ignorance. And what I mean by that is opinion. See, there's a difference. You can respect somebody's opinion, but you can't jump in and attack somebody based on their opinion. Well, I all that other stuff. It's their opinion, especially if you ask somebody, excuse me, you know, well, give me your, you know, tell me from your perspective, you know, give me your opinion about something. Okay, I shared it, but don't attack me. There's nothing worse than attacking somebody's opinion. It's their opinion. It's privacy.
That's right, right. Yeah, and again, but I think as we do on the program, again, I just want to welcome those who are looking in on us tonight, and thank you for doing that. But again, what we try to do is give you our perspective, but many times our perspective is not based on just our opinion. It's based on a lot of books that we read and the people that we've spoken to. And Ron, you have something else for us?
Yeah, this is from a while back, a couple weeks ago. We talked about this, and this is writing a book someday.
Yeah, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Right.
Thursday, Friday,
You know.
Saturday, Sunday. But when is someday?
You know, too many people tell me, I'm going to write a book someday. I plan to write a book someday while sitting idle, watching a shadow or silhouette on the wall of my mind. Although I aim to write a book someday, it's just a dream. Our whole and many voices share their opinions about why I should do it. Now that the day has passed, I still plan to write a book someday about something that never happened. It was an idea for a book that is now sitting on a non-publishing company's shelf, waiting for me to sign a copy. Writing a book someday feels like an illusion, a metaphor for wasted time, wishing, dangling, fumbling in my mind as I twist and turn, wallowing across the bed in a room filled with pictures of my mystery I never truly understood, trying to figure out why I should or should not write a book about something. But time has passed, and now you are waiting for nothing to inspire you to write a book someday. Title, I am going to write a book someday. Many have sat in thought and written, blank pages, fading into the night with dreams of ideas never fulfilled. Yet the legacy remains hidden from those who cannot read the memories of what was never left for others to discover. Thinking about procrastinating won't rewrite the story of someday writing that things. Eagles soar high, seeing their chance to swoop down without hesitation, never missing a meal to survive another day. Are you hungry or just crying, weeping the blues on a hope and prayer that someday you'll write about? No title, no name, no image, no one to blame. Dark shaded memories of lost thoughts swirled in the closet of an unlocked space. Death falls on numb ears, waiting for the sounds to ring something while others mourn their chance to sign the book today. Where is yours?
Someday.
Someday.
Yeah. and it's so funny because there is an idea that someday I'm going to get in shape. Someday I'm going to get on that diet. someday I'm going to go to the gym.
Isn't that something?
But again, that is a good thought. That is a good thought. That someday you want to get physically fit. Someday you want to get yourself together.
And when you find that someday, let
us know. Let us know.
By that time,
who knows where we'll be?
exactly, someday.
Yeah. But I go back to some of my early mentors, and and a lot of my mentors were really that I met in books. Like what I talk about Dr. Wayne Dyer all the time. I talk about Zig Ziglar. I talk about Brian Tracy. I talk about Darren Hardy. These people, and again, these are people that I met through books, and they've mentored me. And Les Brown said something that really stuck with me. He says that most people just need some coaching, okay? Because they have all that they need, but they need a little coaching. They maybe need a little push. And ladies and gentlemen, today we have a coach. We have a fitness coach, and he's going to help us to get ourselves together. He goes by the name of Evan Beyond Fitness. And maybe that might be the first question. Where did this come from, Evan Beyond Fitness? What is that about exactly?
Well, first and foremost, thank you guys for having me on your platform. All right, clap it up, clap it up. All right, that's number one. Blessed and, highly favored to be here. Feeling good. It's 80 degrees outside. We was talking earlier about summer no longer being my favorite season.
Yes,
now
yes.
fall is my favorite season. Summer, fall. We got to come up with a new season. Evan Beyond Fitness. My name is Evan. I'm into fitness, but that's not the only thing I'm involved in.
Mm-hmm.
Fitness is my life. I live it. I breathe it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do other things. So Evan Beyond Fitness. Like
Mm-hmm.
I like to dance. I'm a father.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lover. I'm a son.
Yes,
I'm so many things other than the whole idea of working out.
Yeah.
So that's why I came up with Evan Beyond Fitness. So when I created it as a nickname, a moniker,
Mm-hmm.
and when I was creating my Facebook page or website, I just want everybody to flock to it, even if you don't like exercise, right? Because exercise, just the whole concept of it can be very, it can be a turnoff, right?
Yes,
Because even though that's something that's important and that we all need to do, it's not the most thrilling thing to do.
No, I mean, Muhammad Ali said it. He said he hates training,
Exactly.
but he likes being a champion.
Exactly.
And so he does the training so he can be that champion. And I like what you said about your whole fitness situation. It is not a hobby. It's a lifestyle.
A lifestyle.
Yes. And I think what happens is that people have to understand that people they think it's just a weekend thing or every other day thing, but it's like a 360 thing. And I guess I just want to for our audience, what are 4 things that they can do to be fit for life?
Sure. Well, number one, you have to have the will to be fit, a will to be fit, a will to be healthy, right? So that's number one. Number 2, you got to have a plan. You can't just jump into the gym without a plan or jump into eating healthy. What does that look like? So putting together a plan. Number 3, a drive. You have to have a drive. Motivation, it sounds cool on paper, but it's something that is fleeting. So what's going to drive you to go to the gym? What's going to be the reason behind it? Is it going to be longevity? Is it going to be having a summer body? Is it going to be because you want to run around with your kids or your grandkids? And lastly, diligence. You got to be consistent. You got to do it on a daily basis. You don't have to beat up your body and throw around crazy heavy weights, but even something as small as walking, a jog, stretching, something exercise related will suffice.
Yeah, and that's beautiful that you put it that way, because again, people think you got to go crazy with getting the gym equipment and all the other kind of stuff.
No.
Now, you have some personal clients, right?
Sure.
So now, what does success mean for you and your clients?
All right. Well, as someone that's had a few years under his belt with training, I have evolved and I have matured a lot as an individual and also as a personal trainer. So my ideal of my ideal of success right now is maintaining relationships with my clients.
Okay.
You know, when I first started, I was very eager to get results. Okay, you know, how quick can we lose weight? How quick can we build muscle? How quick can we have the body that you always dreamed of?
Yes.
And as the years progress, I realized there's more to that. It's more to that. It's about how your client or my client feels when they come in to train. You know, are they coming in with their shoulders drooped down and their head down? Are they coming in energetic? Are they happy to see me? Are they happy to exercise? Is it a love and hate relationship? Or are they hate to see me, but they know that they have to? And just being able to maintain these relationships over the years. You know, I'm blessed to have clients that I've been training since COVID, and I think 6 years, 6 years. You know, so that's true success for me.
Now, you mentioned COVID, and you mentioned the pandemic. Is that when you started the Ever Beyond Fitness moniker or the situation?
No. I actually started, I would say maybe a little over 10 years when I was doing boot camps in your backyard.
Yes.
And that was way before COVID.
Yes, it was.
But I think when COVID hit, that really put a fire under me to really go 100% independent. Because prior to that, I was managing corporate gyms. I was a group fitness instructor, social media manager, and also teaching classes. So I had a lot in my plate. But once I lost my job due to COVID, you know, I went straight to online training, and I generated a pretty decent following. And then after that, I had a nice amount of clients that stood with me, and the rest is history.
And again, it's so beautiful. And let me just say this, in full transparency, this is my son. Okay? This is my son, Evan Terry Benjamin. And I mention that because you inspire me.
Sure.
I just want to say that because, you know, again, I think in parenting, Ron, you know, you can probably attest to this too. You can't tell your kids what to become. No. You can't say, well, I want you to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. You have to sort of let them go and let them find their way.
100%.
You know? And I want to just sort of pivot, and I just want you to just briefly talk about family fitness. Yeah. Because, you know, your children are what I call scholar athletes. Yes. And when I talked to them, I said, you know what? You are being raised to be extraordinary. Yes. Okay, not ordinary. And when I say extraordinary, I'm not saying that you're better than anybody else. Yes. We're not saying that. But we're saying that the way you're being raised, the way you're being trained by your father is for a purpose. Sure. And my question to you is, what is the essence of family fitness? What's the essence of that? Yeah. Well, you know, it goes all the way back to when I was a child and just hopping on a train and walking through the city with my dad and going to different places like the arcade or jazz festivals. And I believe that family fitness started then. Because you had to be active. So, you know, with my kids, I just really drive home the whole idea of staying busy, keeping busy, walking around. I mean, right now, you know, the kids are heavily into sports. So, so now we introduce, you know, the weight training and everything like that. But that's not the most important element of it. The most important element is the movement together as a family. So, you know, a lot of times from what I see, parents struggle with that because they tell their sons or daughters or grandchildren, okay, go out and do something. But I think it would be more effective if you go out and do something with them. So that I use that as a family bonding. That's a time for us to bond. So whether, you know, we're going to the park, we're jogging, you know, we run on a track, we're weightlifting. It's just our time to bond as a family. So that's family fitness. And that's beautiful. And that's why, you know, I like you saying that it's just a lifestyle. Because I always tell the story that was 9 years old. I told my mom and my grandma, I said I want to be a writer. And I didn't realize that really what I was doing, I was really putting myself on a road.
Sure.
And writing was never a hobby to me.
Sure.
You know, it was always a lifestyle. I mean, I'm a writer. I mean, that's what I do. You know, I write every day. You know, and most of the time I publish on Facebook, and I want to commend you for that, because, you know, when I started writing articles and posting them on Facebook, I would post maybe one article a day.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at your page, and he's like 3 or 4. I said, well, let me catch up and whatnot. But how important to you is posting something every day?
Yeah.
What is that important? To you?
Yeah. Well, okay. So during COVID, that was part of my routine. But since then, I think you beat me 10 times over.
I beat everybody.
Yeah. I look at it as a time capsule.
Okay.
I look at it as a time capsule.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Instagram, plenty other social media platforms. They have like a throwback.
Yes.
So you can see what you were doing, or
yes.
what was your train of thought a year, 2 years, even 10 years prior to that. And I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I think one of the things that happens when you get older, you see how you change. You look at the different pictures and whatnot. And one of the things for seniors or men of a certain age, and women as well, you got to understand that, you know, change is the constant. Okay, you're going to change. Your body's going to change. Your face is going to change. You're going to lose some hair. You know, everything is going to change. But I guess you have to be sort of comfortable with that.
Sure.
Because there are some seniors who won't even look in the, they won't look in the mirror. They won't look in the mirror because they don't like what they see, not realizing that this is good. You know, you're changing, but you have some control of some of it. Okay, there's some things that you just can't change.
Sure.
But I think what happens, and we talk about it all the time. You know, how are you vibing? What is your energy? And my question to you is, can you exercise for energy? Is there any diet that you can read? You know,
can you exercise for energy? Well, when you're exercising, you're depleting your energy, right?
Okay.
You know, depending on the level of intensity.
Uh-huh.
But I will say this. I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
You have to wait a little bit
Okay.
for you to reap the benefits of
Okay,
it, right?
okay.
So for example, we'll use working out, right?
Yes,
A lot
yes.
of people think that working out is building muscle.
Mhm.
No, you're actually tearing muscle, right?
Oh,
So if
okay.
you're pushing weight, like let's talk about like bench press.
Yeah,
So
please.
you're pushing
Yeah,
weight.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
actually getting weaker. You're getting weaker, but it's not until you go home, you take a shower, you eat a nice meal,
Uh-huh.
you stretch, you rest. The next day you sore because your muscles are healing.
Yes. Yeah.
But the next few days, you feel stronger because your body, you gave your time, you gave yourself some time to repair.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I think in that regard, you exercise is the pathway to energy.
Okay.
That's my answer to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's something that we have to understand when we're walking into the gym, or even when we're embarking into our new health journey.
Yes. Yes.
We think that we're getting stronger while we're doing something. You know, like it's just like reading a book. You're not going to get smarter by reading one chapter of the book, right?
That's
right?
true.
That's
true.
you're not going to get instant intelligence.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that's the same thing with exercise. But if you keep on reading the book,
Mhm.
and then you write notes, and then you meditate, and you reflect on it, then that's when you gain knowledge. So that's the same thing with exercise.
Yeah.
And energy.
And the thing that I love about you, I remember, like, as you were growing up, you know, I remember every Saturday I would take them to the library, and you know, and at that time it was Evan and his two sisters, and then we take them to the library, and they would get their books for the week, and then I would take them to get something to eat. And the thing is that and he would get like a graphic novel, that kind of thing, because he didn't seem to be into reading, and I'm thinking, I said, man, he's pretty on a good road and whatnot, and I don't want to push him, I don't want to say, why don't you read something? I watch him and whatnot, Then it dawned on me, because we started talking, and then he talked about Deepak Chopra and these people and whatnot. And I said, I'm thinking like, I didn't see him read anything, but what I realized that he does audiobooks. He'll do 3 or 4 audiobooks, And the thing is that people understand that whether you read or audiobooks, it's still getting into your brain, it's getting to your body.
100%.
And it's so funny because I just told him, we're reading a book now called The Way of the Superior Man.
Yes, great book.
And he had read that before.
Yes,
and I'm thinking I'm showing him something new. He said, Dad, I read that because that book that is an old book. As a matter of fact, because we have the 20th anniversary of that book.
Yes.
But we're really enjoying it, and we're going to put it with some other books. But the point that I want to make to our listeners, is about mind, body, and spirit.
Yes.
And in this program, we say it's about mind, body, and books.
Sure.
And what we do, we have this segment where we introduce different books, and there's 2 books that I want to introduce here, and really, this is it's entitled "Living Well." 21 Days to Transform Your Life, Supercharge Your Health, and Feel Spectacular. And this is by Montel Williams. And again, Montel Williams, is one of my heroes because he's one of the first black male talk show hosts. And he's dealing with MS, but he's still writing. He's still doing what he's been doing. And this other book here is called Living Well Emotionally. And this is a breakthrough to a life of happiness. And the thing I like about Montel is that here's a man who has serious health challenges, but it hasn't stopped him from doing what he needs to do to take care of himself. And I think, again, so many of us, we have excuses. I would go to the gym, but it's raining. Not realizing that when you get to the gym, you're going to be inside. Okay? So that's no excuse. But one of the things that he talks about is that he had what he calls a gratitude journal. And he says here, and I just want to read this briefly. It says here, celebrate 3 good things every day. Keep a personal gratitude journal. And at the end of every day, write down 3 good things that happened to you and why. Gratitude must be the most powerful happiness booster of all. Gratitude. I mean, just the fact that I woke up this morning, just the fact that I was in my right mind, because what we're finding right now is that, especially, we get older, and it's almost an epidemic of dementia, especially in the black community.
Oh, yeah.
We find that more black people are suffering from some form of dementia, and really a lot of that, not all of it, of course, a lot of that is due to diet. And my question to you, how important is diet? And again, I know you can't tell people what to eat, but
no.
What are some of the things that you eat to keep you fit?
Yeah. Diet. I'm not that big of a fan of that word.
Okay.
Because diet has a negative connotation.
It does.
Like, oh, I'm going on a diet. I go on a diet.
That word die is in there.
Yeah, it's like you're flipping your world upside down, and you got to take away this and anything like that. For me, I love fruits and vegetables.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I love blueberries.
Yeah.
I eat a container of blueberries every day. Every day,
Mm-hmm.
I go to Aldi's.
Mm-hmm.
They got it. I think for $2.89.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so blueberries, from what I read,
Mm-hmm.
it's a brain booster, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it helps you with memory.
Mm-hmm.
Mango, skin, digestive health, bananas,
Mm-hmm.
energy, potassium, chicken, protein.
Mm-hmm.
Potatoes, just a basic food.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah. What about supplements? Do you do any supplements?
Creatine.
Okay.
Creatine repairs my muscles,
Mm-hmm.
and I also take a couple of drops of ashwagandha.
Mm-hmm.
It's a herb that
Mm-hmm.
keeps you calm.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I just try to stay away from fast foods and I don't eat out. I rarely eat out.
Okay.
I prepare all my food. Extra virgin olive oil when I cook. I stay away from canola oils or seed oils. So I keep it really basic.
Now you eat salmon, right? Just salmon.
I don't eat fish. I don't eat
You
seafood.
eat fish. You don't eat fish at all.
Because
Okay,
due to
yeah.
food allergies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But if I'm eating protein, it'd be chicken, beans, rice, fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, and again, one of the things that you said before we came on the air is that the whole thing about allergens and allergies. You should know, because again, a lot of times we might be eating quote unquote healthy foods,
Yes.
but it doesn't agree with our body.
100%.
Yeah, like I'm lactose intolerant.
Yes.
I can't drink milk.
Yes.
And then one time I was trying to do Ensure, but I couldn't even do Ensure.
Can't do it. Yeah.
And so I had to back off that.
Yeah.
I think what happens is that you have to ask yourself, how healthy do you want to be?
Yes.
And my thing, I want to be healthy every day.
Yes.
Because I was telling Ron, I said, one of the things, I had an epiphany. And my epiphany is that success in life is how well you can take care of yourself in your senior years.
Yes.
I mean, that I came to that realization, that epiphany, because I know you love me. I know my family loves me, but it's hard to take care of a person who is not well, especially in their later years. It's tough. It's a nightmare, and one of the things that I do, Ron, for my son and for my family is try to stay as healthy as I can, because I don't want to put that burden on him. Now, again, I can't. I don't have the ultimate, determination what's going to happen to me, but I stay healthy. I stay healthy.
Just to add to it, like I tell my kids all the time, like, you guys are not gonna take care of me. That's just
let's understand that, right?
That's not the life I want for myself, and that's not the life I want for you guys. Now I understand in different cultures and different families, okay, I raised you, so you gotta change my diaper. That's set yourself up for success. Maintain your health as best way you can.
Yes. Yeah.
Get your yearly checkups. The older we get, we gotta do it twice a year.
Yeah.
And make right decisions for yourself.
Yes,
Because ultimately, for me, 70s, 80s, 90s, I still want to be walking around without a care in the world. Without my son or my daughter or anybody for that matter. Having that burden to take care of me.
Yeah, and really, audience, understand, you don't get to be healthy at 70, 80, 90, starting at 69. You got to go back to the 40s, the 30s, and the 20s. You know what I mean? When I was a teenager, I read a book called How to Eat to Live by Elijah Muhammad. Now, I never became a Muslim, but I really was following what they're saying. They were saying that their whole thing was radical at that time, saying just eat one meal a week, and definitely don't eat. Yeah, but this was like back in 1968.
And now it's popularized now.
It is.
So again, they knew something. They knew something.
Well, they did, because you saw the Muslim brothers, right, with the newspapers and the bean pie,
and they were all lean.
They're all lean, and their skin was just
clear.
They were clean shaven and whatnot, and their skin was shining.
Sure.
They were walking upright. They exercised.
Sharp.
Sharp and that kind of thing. And I think I've always admired that.
Yeah.
That was something that I really admire.
Yes.
And the thing is that again, going to go back to the whole thing with lifestyle. Okay, it's your lifestyle. It's how you live your life. Again, the exercise is not occasional. I mean, every day I'm in the habit of reading. Every Sunday I go to get my New York Times, my Sunday Times.
Yeah.
Now, I used to read a paper every day, but now with podcasts and that type of thing, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But on Sunday I get the New York Times, and the first thing I go to the Metro section, when they have this column, and it's called routine. And what they do in the column, they take a person, and they what time do you wake up, and they take you through your whole day until when you go to bed.
Yeah.
you know. And the thing that I like about that is that as a writer, I'm sort of nosy. I'm curious about how people live their life, because sometimes I know how much fun I have in the course of a day, you know, in my reading, my writing, the things I watch, that type of thing. But I'm like, you know, what do other people do? What is their routine, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't, and don't ever come to me talking about, I'm bored. What? You know?
It's a curse word.
Yeah, it is a curse word, you know? It's like when you were coming up, you never told me that you were bored, right?
No.
I'll find something for you to do,
No.
you know? That, you know? But the thing that I want to go into, we have a section of the program called Food for Thought.
Gotcha.
And before I go into that, Ron, you anything that you want to ask Evan Beyond Fitness?
I got a whole lot of things. But just in short, and I'll make, on the bullet points, because one of the most important things, even the conversation in itself is so important, and I truly commend the young brother for what he is and what he has inspired himself to do based on where he come from. There's a scripture that says, raise up a child the way you want him to go, and when they get older, they won't depart from it.
That's right.
Now, naturally, it says him, but we talk about him or her.
Yes, yeah.
Raise up a child. We also talked about, and you heard, in reference to being healthy and the food, exercise. And I agree, because I was there. I'm still bulky, but but the bottom line is I still work out even today. I ride my bike to the park. I have weights in my backyard or whatnot. So I still maintain. And even when I was working out when I was younger, I wasn't trying to be in competition. This is what's important. Too many of society has blindfolded you to believe you had to be like somebody else to impress. It's not true. And so here, as I continue to go on, in short, I also want to say and tie this into the conversation. This book, For Your Blood Type, and I want to tell you the reasons why. This is by Dr. Peter J. Adamo and with Catherine Whitney. What's important for your blood type? And the brother said earlier, before you get into training, want to go to the doctor, get your blood checked. There are too many people do not know their blood type. When you go to the doctor, get a health check or whatever the case may be, I don't care if you went to the emergency room. Tell the doctor, ask the doctor, what is my blood type? That's how they work on you, is knowing what your blood type. What's unfortunate that you don't know your own blood type. So here, for your blood type, also should tie into your exercising routine. How do you work out? Weights is not for everybody. Walking, breathing, stretching is the most important. Stretch the body, get the body to open up. That's what's important. So for your blood type, health and wellness, because everybody can live as long as they are allowed. And what I mean by that, depending on life, God in himself. But the fact is, he gives us all the right and opportunity to live well and healthy today, in the moment. Do what you can to be healthy. Stop trying to be like somebody else, and stop trying to be slim and big and that and that, because guess what? As everybody knows, at the sound of our voice, too many trying to be like everybody else. Unfortunately, many have died because they're trying to enhance something that's not supposed to be. Okay, so if you are way over the limit, you have to ask yourself, why am I over the limit? Is it because of my body chemistry, because something is out of balance, or because I'm sitting there in front of the TV playing these games, eating everything under the sun? See, that's what's important. Snacking away, fast food here and there. No one can say in the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, or any other book where it says, eat until you blow up, eat until you get sick, eat until you don't have no sense. The Bible in itself, and I'll give you one. I know in Genesis 1:29, I think it is, but then also in Deuteronomy 14:7-12, God tells you exactly what to eat. And everything in the Bible and every book that is out there tells you the fruits of life, the tree of life. The fruits is your greeneries, is your meat, not the beef. Okay, not all that steak and whatnot, pork. But if that's your choice, well, fine. I'm not taking that away from you. But you also have to ask yourself, is this something that's causing me to have flat tires or blown out rims or whatever the case may be, because something ain't working? And, and the other thing you said, Brother Terry, is that milk what I have learned, and you're right,
Can't
lactose intolerance, because you have to understand what milk you technically supposed to be drinking. You see, in the Bible it talks about goat, so you can drink goat, but also in the short, it tells you do not eat anything that does not have seeds in it. Do not eat any meat that does not constantly chew and have split hoofs. Pig don't have no split hoof and it doesn't chew, whatever the case may be. And then you have to also understand when cow's milk, you have to understand, is that suitable for human? You see, that's the difference. You have to know what kind of milk you're supposed to be having. And that's why the importance of this book. Eat for your blood type. O, P, A, B plus, whatever the case may be. Eat for your blood type. Work out for your blood type. Because we have an expert here, a coach here, a trainer here who help teach you as many of others out there before, now, and tomorrow that is yet still to come. Eat for your blood type. Work out for your blood type.
Yeah. And during the food for thought, I just want you to take us through your fitness journey. Now, again, I know that, it's so funny because I think it started with you being a break dancer. Was it before then, though? I think it was, because I remember, and it's so funny, Ron, because, he was raised with two sisters, and when we went to the library, they would get their books and they would come home and they would be quiet and they would read their books. But he was all over the place, He was, just all this energy. So I told my wife, I said, maybe we should put him into gymnastics. Is that where it would have started from you, your fitness journey? Remember when we took the gymnastics classes?
Yeah.
Because I had to do something, man.
I was a very hyperactive
yes,
child,
you were.
right? Bouncing off the walls. And I'm very grateful that my parents had enough sense to put me in some type of physical activity, gymnastics. I think I did a little bit of everything, right?
You did.
Tennis, basketball. Yeah, that's definitely where it started.
Okay.
And then also my dance background, doing performances with you, with hats turned backward, mimicking kid and play dances. So I think all of that really motivated me to become the person I am today.
And it's so funny because, back in the day, I was doing this program called Coming Correct Rap Music Literature, where I would actually give a lecture tracing rap music from Africa to the present. And then, I would show video of different types of rap, And then I would go off stage. Then I'll come back dressed as a rapper, hat on backwards, T-shirt, jeans, when I come out doing the Running Man.
Yeah.
And this, I never forget this. This is in my head. We went to this one school, and again, so I did the lecture, and my DJ, as a matter of fact, my DJ was Brian Cox. Brian Cox was my DJ. He met Brian, and he was my DJ. And then he would keep the music going and whatnot. And then when I came, back, I came out as my hat on backwards and doing my Running Man. And the thought was that the kids would come up on the stage and dance with me, because I was in my late 30s at that point, and I wasn't as in great shape that I was in. So what I decided to do was that, I would start dancing. I had the kids come up on stage and dance with me, and that way I could sort of fade back, get myself together, and then I can finish my program. But we went to this one school, and nobody would come up on stage with me, And I would usually bring my son with me, with Tony Hopkins and whatnot. And my son jumped up on stage, to dance with me. Now, he was just a little kid, but he was so nervous that he couldn't look at the audience. Him and I were just dancing, doing our kid and play thing, And I'll never forget it. And after they sent me my check, they said, we thank you for coming to our school, and we thank you for your son. And I remember that. And then you went on, like you said, you got involved in the break dance and continue.
No, I mean that's pretty much it. That's pretty much how it all started, right there. Right there.
And then you got involved in the bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Now, how was that transition from the break dance to bodybuilding? What got you involved there?
Well, that's a great question. Well, around the time I was married, and my wife at the time, she had children, and all my friends, they were no one wanted to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to practice
Yeah, of course.
dancing. You know, and that's the only time I had because I was a stay-at-home dad, so
Yes,
I was
yes.
up early, you know, making the bottles and changing diapers.
Yes,
so,
yes, yeah,
and then I
yeah.
had a little bit of time in between, and I needed something to do.
Mm-hmm.
So bodybuilding was the next best thing for me, you know, because again around that time, you know, my buddies that I still keep in contact with,
Mm-hmm.
you know, no one was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. to
No,
practice.
I don't think so.
So what am I going to do? So with the bodybuilding, that gave me an avenue to do something on my own that I didn't have to rely on a crew to do.
Yeah.
You know.
But the thing that you know, you're being too modest because you know, so Ron, he got involved in the bodybuilding, but it was not just bodybuilding. He became very competitive, and you were in shows and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember you asked me, you know, you invited me to one of your shows, and it was just amazing. You know, him coming out and doing the posing and he had on this spray on tan and that type of thing. And then what was the thing about, you said you had to cut your water? What was that about?
Yeah. Well, you know, I got it into competitive men's. It was called. It's still called men's physique. So
Okay.
it's different. Is a different between bodybuilding is, you know, you're wearing the speedos and you're showing more of your legs.
Yeah.
When I joined a category called men's physique. So it was more for the beach body.
Okay.
The beach
Yeah,
body
I
look.
got you.
But
Yeah,
now these guys are like bodybuilders with board shorts. It's totally different from when I was competing.
Uh-huh.
And basically, who looked the best in board shorts?
Mm-hmm,
You know, who can represent the beach body look?
Yeah.
And it just scratched that performance itch, because around that time I wasn't performing. I wasn't dancing as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to pose on stage kind of replicated that feeling of performance.
Yeah.
But as far as cutting water, men's physique took a lot from the routine of bodybuilding, which would be bulk up, eat a lot of protein, carbs for a certain amount of time, and then close to your show, you would be on a deficit, and then you would drink a gallon of water. That's what the whole gallon of water came from.
That's where that came from, right? Yeah.
You know, the bodybuilders would do that. It was a hack, right? So you drink a gallon of water in the beginning of the week, and then during the course of the week, you would start cutting your water little by little, and then the day of the show, you don't drink any water. So pretty much you deplete it. You flushed everything out, and that's where your if you do it right, that's where all your veins pop up and everything like that. So, you know, it's not the healthiest thing to do. And that's why I didn't do it for that long. It's just not anything that I recommend to do in the long term. But I do. It was a great experience. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about my body. I learned a lot about mental toughness. Right. And it was a great experience, but I would never do that again.
But again, it was impressive, and like I said, and looking at your journey, and then you know, back in the day, he had a dance crew called Soldiers Dance Entertainment.
Yes.
And then you were on MTV and that kind of thing, you know. But when to flash forward, and again, like I said, I really admire this man because he. Now, he does things that I think about doing, but I won't do. Now, you know, in terms of his fitness journey, now he's getting it. And he was into a marathon, right? Doing the marathon.
Oh, 5K.
The 5K.
5K. 5K. Yeah,
but the audacious thing, from my point of view, is that you invite me to come and see you run.
Yeah.
Now, the possibility is that, well, you might not do well. You know, but the thing is, he knows that no matter how he does, I'm gonna love him, that kind of thing. but it takes a lot of heart to do that. Yeah. And what got you into the 5K running?
Yeah. You know, again, I think my family as a whole, you know, instilled a lot of confidence in me, right? And again, it starts when you're a baby.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I remember running around in the house with a blanket wrapped around my neck, believing that I was a
The
superhero.
Superman phrase,
And I think, my confidence to this day is due to the fact that my parents entertained that, right? They didn't discourage me. They say, man, you're not a superhero, you going, this. Nah, like they supported me, my dad gave me a dictionary. Okay, what's gonna be a superhero name? And I went through,
we did the whole thing, yeah.
so it really stems from that, and everything I did with confidence. I mean, and now just like as a 41-year-old man, there's nothing I can't do.
Yeah.
Like I literally, and that's something that I share with the people I care about and my children. And listen, if you want, my son wants to go. He said, I'm going to be in the NBA. I'm like, okay.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not? Okay.
So going back to the 5K, to make a short story shorter.
Yeah.
My kids were entering a cross country season. So cross country is a sport where you run long distances.
Of course.
They were excited, but they also were nervous about it.
Yeah.
So I was just proving the point. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a 5K, and I'm gonna win it, and I'm gonna show you that I can do it, and you can do it.
And you did it.
And I did it. And what was cool about the 5K, it breaks it up in categories, age categories, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I got first place in my age bracket.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So even though I have a level of confidence, I'm not that delusional to believe that I can smoke a 19-year-old, kid that's all he does every day. You know what I'm saying?
And he got youth on his side.
Right.
Too,
But I was confident in myself that I was like, okay, I know I can get first place. I know I'm in great shape for my age, or even not for my age. I'm just in great shape, period. And I'm going to be in great shape for as long as I live on this earth.
Yeah, because it's lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Right?
Listen, I do the work every day.
Okay.
There's no reason why I shouldn't have healthy skin. There's no reason why I shouldn't be smiling. There's no reason why I shouldn't have a ball of energy. I'm doing everything right.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing everything right, and I'm struggling to get out of bed, something is wrong.
Something's wrong.
And that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
And I feel like right now, in this point of my life, I checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
So now it's just a matter of just maintenance
and
moving and keep on moving forward, and then just spreading that knowledge and that wisdom, that love.
Yeah. And the thing I like about it is that you continue to challenge yourself. Okay, because we talked about the competition, we talked about the break dancing. We talked about the coaching and whatnot, and then like I said, he posts these videos, and let's talk about the dancing, the salsa dancing.
Yeah.
Because you seem to be having the ball, man. I mean, I just like I'm looking at you. You spin the ladies around, and they're having a good time. You're having a good time. How do you get into that?
Yes. So again, it's like you see the theme. The theme is dancing.
Yes, movement.
That's all,
Right?
And again, I guess with the salsa dancing, it wasn't anything new to me because even when I was dancing in high school, I gravitated to different cultures.
Okay.
Especially the Latin American culture.
Yes.
Right. And it all made sense because I identify as African American Black.
Yeah. But you don't limit yourself though.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you really do the research, salsa dancing came from Africa.
Ooh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's Afro-Cuban.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it's in my blood.
Yes.
To do what I'm doing. Right.
Yeah.
And later on, obviously, there were European influences, and different influences. But at the end of the day, this is in my blood, it's my heart. But as far as it's part of my routine is lifestyle. It gives me a healthy hobby to do. It keeps me on my toes because I might encounter a dancer that dances a different style, so I have to adapt to my partner. And it gives me a place to make friends
Yes, yeah, yeah.
and socialize as well.
Yeah.
And,
Wow. And the thing, I was reading an article not too long ago about the benefits of dancing for mental health.
yeah,
Okay.
endless.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, when you're dancing, it releases endorphins, right? That's the
Yes,
feel
yes.
good hormones in your
Yes,
body,
yes, yes.
right?
Yeah.
And then when you really go deep dive into the whole dance and you start incorporating spins, that's hand-eye coordination right there. You got to be coordinated. And then you just have you're a student. You're a student to the game because there's always something to learn.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
whether there's a new song that comes out or even an old song that you never heard. And it's just all around a great dance. And it's something that you can do for the rest of your life. With like with the break dance, with the b-boying. I love it.
Yeah.
But I'll be lying to tell you if I want to do it.
You do it not
You know
now.
what I'm saying? Like I can do it.
Yeah.
But you know, you really had to push me to spin on my head or everything. Right?
Yes,
but
yes.
with salsa dancing, I can do that forever. And what's cool about the demographic ranges from the teenage years all the way to 80s. Or you know, like this. I ran into Dapper Dan.
Yeah, I was going to
Dapper
mention.
Dan is
Yeah,
a
Dapper
really good
Dan
salsa dancer. You know,
yeah.
And again, you know, I got friends that are 60s and 70s. Remember that time that I brought you?
Yeah.
You know, they were people your age.
Yeah. Because
you know?
I mean, he brought me down to a club, and I was salsa dancing. You know, but the thing is, you know, but I think just in your background, the fact that, you know, like when I was coming up, one of my claim to fame was the dancing because I was too light for football. I couldn't play basketball. I ran track.
Sure.
But the thing is that, you know, the dance, I mean, women would line up to dance with me and whatnot because I had all the moves that I copied from New York.
Yeah.
But the point is that movement, okay? And I just want to say to our audience, you know, keep on moving, okay? Keep on moving because that's going to really keep you alive. And I just want to thank you for coming in and sharing your philosophy with us.
This was great.
You know, and it's so crazy because I'm looking at my watch and we got about like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I give him the job of wrapping things up and taking us out of here, and I give it to him because I can't do it.
Well, you know, just a couple of minutes, and it's really, as I indicated earlier, this will be inspiring. And if you have not received anything, which I doubt very seriously, that means you will sleep, and it becomes an
With a
insult
comatose.
to us.
Yes.
I mean, we
to
spend
you
all
too.
this time and energy with a professional trainer, salsa dancer, because I can move too.
Yes, right.
Best believe.
Moving, yeah.
One of the things, and it's so true, you have to keep moving. It's not trying to keep up. And I just want to, as you indicated, as I guess indicated about, and, you know, Terry was talking about the 5K. And here, Ali, as we both know, you know, he's going to participate. He was a cross runner.
He was in the Olympics, as a matter of fact.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he was talking about next year participating in the New York Marathon. Well, that's 26 miles, I think it is. So now he asked me, well, I'm be honest with you, I ain't going to try to keep up with nobody.
At your old pace.
That's right.
At your old pace.
But the bottom line is, as the young brother, our guest said today, it's not about trying to keep up or trying to impress. It's about doing it. So you can always say, I participated. I was there, even if you're a spectator. But be a spectator on the positive side, and don't be a spectator to criticize, because you can criticize and not do anything.
That's right.
That means who you criticizing. Because now when the ones next to you start laughing at you, now you're mad. But the bottom line is, as a whole, again, we truly appreciate our guest this evening for sharing his journey, his life, and we thank his father for being here to also to have this the commentary.
My best work right there.
You know. That's what's important, and we try to instill this to every single person, young, middle, old, doesn't matter. The bottom line is, do what you can within the boundaries of who you are. Don't try to impress nobody. Even if you're in your 20s or 30s or whatever, don't try to get out and do something you've never done before, but you have to work your way up to it. You see? And the other thing, too, is that, as our guest said earlier, he participated in multiple things that help him become who he is today. We say it all the time. Have different activities, different things, no matter how you look at it. You see, that's what's important.
Yes.
So again, we truly thank you for coming on, turning us on, listen to the young brother, listen to the conversation. It was and it is inspiring to me because, again, I can sit here and tell you where I was, but where he's at now and where you should be today for tomorrow.
Okay, well, thank you, Evan, Terry Benjamin. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for our audience, and we will see you soon. So good evening. Lord have mercy.